Thank you very much. Now, an eye-opening new study tied to your health. It suggests that recent outbreaks of things like the measles are due, in part, to vaccines wearing off over time. So is it time for you to get a booster shot? Dr. Natalie Azar is an NBC News medical contributor. Natalie, good morning. Good to see you. A lot of kids get these vaccines, but time passes and they do wear off.
Yeah.
What's the headline here?
The headline is that in addition to adolescents, there are new recommendations for adolescents to get boosters, but this is a reminder for adults that you might be due for some as well.
As a matter of fact, you just revealed to me it may be time for you to get some booster shots. Let's start with pertussis, also known as whooping cough.
Yes.
We've seen outbreaks of this, and it's preventable.
It's preventable. And so I think a newer recommendation from the CDC in the last couple of years is that every woman who is pregnant should get the Tdap, because it's called acellular pertussis. The pertussis is only available in combination with the tetanus and diphtheria.
Right.
The pregnant women should get it in every third trimester. And the reason is this. When a baby is born, it harbors the mom's antibodies, right? And that's called passive immunity. The baby isn't allowed, infants don't start getting vaccinated for pertussis until the age of 2 months. So there's a very vulnerable period there. And it takes about 2 weeks for the mom to develop antibodies. That's why it's recommended between 27 and 36 weeks of gestation.
You mentioned a second ago tetanus shots. I've had several over my lifetime. What's the recommendation?
The recommendation there is actually pretty simple. It's every 10 years for tetanus, and it's given in combination with diphtheria, which is also recommended every 10 years.
Can you remind me what diphtheria is?
So diphtheria is an infection that's caused by a bacterium. It can cause severe disease. It can cause mild disease. It's generally a disease of the upper respiratory tract, sore throat, that kind of thing, swollen neck as a classic physical exam finding.
Let's move on to measles.
Yeah.
This is one that a lot of people are letting go.
Yeah. So here's the important number to remember. If you were born before 1957, you were in all likelihood immune because you were actually exposed and had measles. You have lifelong immunity. The MMR vaccine was first made available in 1971, but here's the important thing. If you got one dose, you're probably 93% effective. In 1989, they introduced that second booster for school-age kids. Younger, and that was before my time. So I only received one vaccine. Might I not be fully immunized? Here's how you can tell. You can get a blood test. You can check something called your MMR titers, but it's probably not that big of a deal if you're unsure to just get vaccinated again, because the second dose, which is a booster, will basically confer about 97% immunity.
It's important to consider the measles vaccine also if you're traveling overseas and things like that.
And you know what?